All right. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. I'm super duper excited, guys. Good evening, everyone. How you guys doing? It's another beautiful, beautiful, beautiful evening. I'm hopeful it's going to be amazing. All right. So we are live. Please let everybody that should be here let them know that we are live now. So share the link to your friends. Share the link to your family. Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! It's going to be amazing. I'm totally hopeful that tonight is going to be very fruitful for every one of us. So if you know anybody that should be here, please let them know that we are here. Mm. Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! Please let everybody know that we are live now. Please reach out to your friends, reach out to your family, let them know that we are live. In 2 minutes, I would start teaching. So please help me to reach out to everyone that you know that should be here. Help me to reach out to them. Let them know that we are live and I'm about to start cooking. Okay, please tell your friends, tell your family members we're here. Okay, we are here. I even forgot to share the link on Instagram. Uh, so you guys should just give me a few seconds. Let me share the link on Instagram while you also share it on your Instagram pages. Please share the link on Instagram, share the link on Telegram. Everybody that you know that should be here that is not here, please let them know that we have started. And this is part two of the discussion we started um, 1 week ago. Is it 2 weeks now? Sorry, 2 weeks ago. So we want to round up on that discussion. Let's quickly round up on that discussion and then let's see how we go from there. Okay. Please, if you guys are set, let me know. If you're set, I'm set. If you're set, I'm set. Uh, if you guys are set, I'm set. Okay. All right. So, by way of recap, for those of you that just joining, if this is your first time joining Wisdom Bank Mentorship, I know I usually share this link on our forex platforms. However, this is not a forex training. This is not this is a mentorship session. The idea of mentorship is to provide you with necessary inspiration, skill set, and mindset necessary for you to thrive in whatever field you find yourself. So, what I'll be teaching you today are the things that helped me. And I'd like to say this upfront to some of you here. Even if I was not a trader, even if I was maybe selling tomato or pepper or whatever thing else, I don't think I'll be less wealthy than I am right now, because the principles of wealth that I've been able to learn and apply over these years to get to where I am and hoping to get further to where I hope to be someday. These are not principles that work for only forex traders. These are principles that work regardless across board. So what I'm going to be teaching you are the things that I would say, has shaped me. The things I've been able to apply that I've seen tangible results from. And these are some things I totally believe also that if you are able to apply, there is no limit to the results that you'll be able to get also in your own life. Okay, so please, if you know somebody that should be here that will benefit from this training, that is not here, please let the person know that we are live, and please share the link with them so that we can get started. I'm trying to just round up just to be sure I've shared the link on every place that I need to share it, so that once I start teaching, there would be no distractions. Okay, so that there will be no distractions once I start teaching. Okay. All right. So good evening. Let me just give a few people. Positive Gems. Good evening to you. Asel Forex. Good evening to you. Neuron Maths. Good evening to you. Abdullah Ibrahim. Good evening to you. Geleb the Trader. Good evening. Ratium. Ratium, happy birthday to you. I'm seeing today is your birthday. Happy birthday to you. Lord Brock, happy good evening and welcome. Positive Jams were live. All right, all right. I was happy seeing you speaking. Thank you too. All right, so let's go. So last 2 weeks we started this discussion with a sentence. Let me get my notes out. So last week we started this discussion with a sentence. What we're discussing are the principles of wealth. What are the things that guarantee in life that you will be wealthy? What are the things that you can do right now where you are? I don't mean tomorrow, right from where you are, this moment, this time. What are the things that you can do that can give you an assurance of the fact that your tomorrow will be better than today? I believe every one of us believes that our tomorrow should be better than today. Okay. Now I started this by saying that by winning the game of money, it starts from your changing your mindset about money. If you've not been able to change how you think about money, the results you're going to change, you will be getting would forever remain the same. Now I heard sorry guys, just 1 minute. Okay. All right. So so there's this story I heard a few years ago that really helped me a lot. So the person said that there was a fisherman, and I think this is a true life story actually. So there was this fisherman. He, he was doing his business on the on the shores of the sea on a particular day. So a particular man walked up to him and was just watching him. Every time he caught a fish, there was a particular stick he had. He would weigh the fish and measure it side by side with the stick, and then some fish he would throw back into the sea, some of them he would put into his bag. So the man was watching him. After some point watching him, just wondering what this guy is doing, he gathered the courage to walk up to me and asked him, okay, what are you actually doing? Why will you take the stress to catch fish and throw it back into the sea? And what's really going on? So the guy said that actually that the stick he has is the same size of his pot. That means when he was coming out, he measured the stick, and that's the size of his frying pan. So every single time he catches a fish, if the fish is bigger than his frying pan, he throws it back into the sea. But if the fish is smaller than his frying pan, that means he can fry it, then he puts it into his bag. So the man wondered and was like, that sounds like wisdom. But however, why don't you consider changing the frying pan? Because why would you limit the size of what we call a miracle? Why would you limit the size of your breakthrough just because of your limited mindset? So, I mean, that could have changed if he simply just changed the frying pan. I mean, it's that simple. Just change the frying pan. But he decided to keep going through that stress of, keeping the bigger catch and just keeping the smaller ones for himself. And that's what many people actually do through life. You find out that your mindset about money is the same mindset you had about money that has been passed down to you from your forefathers, from your mother's mother, from your father's father. Your grandfather, your grandparents, they taught your parents about money. The same thing they taught them about money is the same thing they taught you. And you are getting the same results that they are getting. And you're wondering why. And I know for some of you now, life is beginning to humble you. I mean, life is beginning to humble a lot of people. they are now beginning to find out that some of the things you blamed your parents for are the same things that you're currently doing. Some of you asked your parents, why, what were you doing when other people were getting rich? What were you doing when Dan Gote was making money? Some of you now are getting humbled. It's beginning to get to you that the same thing your dad was doing, the same thing your mother was doing, as at when they were your age, is exactly the same thing you're doing. You're not doing anything different. And the truth is that if you don't consciously begin to make the change on the inside, nothing will change. The same result they got on the negative side is the same result you're going to get. And I say this, and it cuts across board, whether it is a character flaw. I know I'm trying to make, relate this as regards money, but it cuts across board. I noticed also that there were some things that my dad used to do that I just found myself doing it. Early enough, I began to notice them, and I consciously began to change them. Now, for instance, my dad was a very wealthy man, and I mean very, very wealthy. I mean, he had a lot of money. He had multiple houses, multiple lands, multiple investments here and there. He was just a wealthy man. But however, us being his children, in fact, I got to know that my dad was wealthy the day we moved into our family, the last house he built before we, left. Because as I went, when growing up, and I mean like it was the age before, is it toddler now, or when I was just a child, between from like 12 years down, 13 down, I didn't know that we had money. I sincerely didn't know that we had money. I'm telling you. It was when we now moved, and I saw the house my dad built. It was bigger than the neighbor's house. I mean, it was that big. The house had about 14 rooms, with two well houses. It was just like unnecessarily big. That was when I began to know that we actually had money, because prior to that time, there was no special privileges of a rich man picking. You understand? There was actually no special privileges. I literally, there was no taking. My dad had like 3 cars at the time. He doesn't take me to school. I had to trek to my uncle's house. Then my uncle's wife now carries me and my cousin to school. That was the routine. I trek to their house. They take me to school. When they drop me back at their house, I trek back home. But this was me. My dad had 3 cars. So I didn't personally enjoy the privileges of being born of a rich parent. I enjoy the privilege in the sense that we went to the best schools. The schools I went to are the most expensive. And you can tell it by the way I speak, with the English I speak. I speak good, I write good, because I went to the very best. When I went to secondary school, my primary school was the best, the costliest as at the time, and the best. When I went to secondary school, same thing. But there was no, in fact, I remember back then in primary school, when we are going to school, my dad would give us 20 naira. You just buy biscuit. We don't go to school with food. I didn't used to go to school with food. So just give us 20 naira. If you go outside, outside during break, you buy biscuits. I remember there was this biscuit there. I can't remember the name. Yeah. It starts with N. You buy it. I buy like 4 of it and eat 5 naira. And that's it. No special privileges. It was when we moved to, I was like, so this might have money. You have this kind of money, and we're suffering. So I noticed that the thing was that now it's, at least from the way I see it now, I feel like it was a flaw. Because I mean, why wouldn't you enjoy your money? You get what I'm saying? Why wouldn't, at least it should show in the life of your children, or show in the life of people? At least let's see 1 or 2 things they get. So when I also started making little money, I noticed that threat was there. In fact, I'm yet to fully break out of it. I won't even lie to you guys. I'm really yet to actually start, breaking out of that thing. But somehow, if I make money, I have before I spend on myself, or before I spend on anybody else around me, I want to be sure that if I make 1,000 naira, that 1,000 naira has potential to make me another 5,000. Until I'm sure of that, I don't spend. So I began to find it, the same threats that I noticed that I was pissed off about was exactly the same thing I was doing unconsciously. I remember when I moved into, when I did my internship. So I was staying alone at this time. And I mean, these things are strong. I promise you, these things are really strong. So, and if you don't discover these threats and fight them early enough, trust me, the same thing they did, your parents did, are the same thing you will do, nothing different. So I remember then when I started living alone during my internship, program. anytime I want to cook Indomie, I'll go outside and buy egg and buy Indomie and come back to the house. Now, and I did that, and I eat Indomie. This was doing it, I ate Indomie a lot. You get, so I maybe like 4 times a week. So every time I'll buy 2 Indomie, 2 egg, then onions, pepper, and all of that. So at some point I was like, why are you always going out to buy pepper? And every time I come there, I see crate of egg. I'm like, okay, why don't you just buy crates? Why are you buying small? Why you can just buy the crate? And it's even cheaper. You save money. But I found out that the reason I was doing that was unconsciously where I grew up from, they don't buy things in bulk also. See, let me tell you, you will be exactly what your parents are until you decide to actively change the cycle. You'll be doing exactly what they are doing. That same thing when growing up, you saw you didn't like, you felt like you change it when you go. If you're not conscious, you'll be doing exactly the same thing. And unfortunately, if we are not privileged to grow up in a wealthy family where they actually practiced wealth principles by default as a lifestyle, the lifestyle that made your parents poor are the same things that will keep you poor. Exactly the same things, nothing different. So these are some things I know. I was like, why are you not just buying things in bulk? Because my mom also didn't used to buy crate of egg. So anytime we want to eat egg in the house, she sends somebody buys, and then we eat. So I was just doing the same thing, but there was just no sense. I started noticing just difference. It was little patterns here and there, but I noticed that it is what it is. And if I'm going to break out of these patterns and make change somewhere somehow, I had to be conscious of these things. You get, and I consciously began to work on it. I consciously began to change it. So if you don't make that conscious change when it comes to money, if you inherit the mindsets that was passed down to you by your people, your forefathers, if they were poor people, trust me, you will be there. Nothing will be different. I promise you. I told you guys last time how that, unfortunately so, and in fact, very fortunately, the children of rich people are more predisposed to becoming rich in life than the children of poor people. They whether you like it or not, they have an advantage, because what they noticed or what they saw their parents doing by default was already a pattern that was inbuilt into their lives. So for instance, if let's say you grew up in a family where they take you to school with maybe, let's say, with a Mercedes Benz. They take you to school every morning with a Mercedes Benz and bring you back with a Mercedes Benz. A Mercedes Benz can no longer be your goal for life, because this for you was simply transport. It was movement. As far as you were concerned, the car was transportation. There was nothing luxury about it. But if you were trekking every day to school, your perception about Mercedes Benz is the fact that this is a big man thing. Now, big man, they get them. But if that was the cars that was, they were using to take you to school, the driver would take you to school and bring you back. Is not an aspiration for you. It's no longer a vision. It's simply, even if you want to still go for the same car, probably a higher version or something much more different than it, it will no longer be a goal. You understand? So if your perception about wealth is wrong, and if unfortunately you've been, unintentionally meant by the wrong parents, the wrong people, the wrong neighbors in life, unfortunately, it will affect you whether you like it or not. Someone said something on Instagram and it made a lot of sense. So she said that, when you live in a neighborhood, in a poor neighborhood, as much as possible, or no matter how much you try, anything you do would come off to them as competition. He was saying that if you have money, go live in a rich neighborhood. And I advise that anytime, any day. Okay, if you have the money, don't try to save money. You see, when it comes to rentals, comes to the place you stay, the environment you find yourself, the things you are doing, don't take those things for granted. Invest to live in a good place. Invest to live in rich neighborhoods. Invest to live among people who are doing better than you. Because anything you do in a poor place, in a poor environment, they will see it as arrogance. They feel like you're trying to show off. I remember when I wanted to buy my first car, I was staying in a self-contained. It was just a small, it wasn't facing me, it was self-con. I don't know how to call it now. I think terrace bungalow. I think that's what it is. Terrace bungalow. So I was staying in one of the rooms there, and I had enough money to buy a car. But I knew that if I buy this car here, all I would just be doing just attracting jealousy to myself. Because the fact that I was just dressing corporate alone was, it looked as if I was doing something. Because some of the area boys then would see me, I was like, then I was doing my internship. Like, hey, Doke, find out something. And Doke, hunger, they hold Doke. You understand? Just because I'm dressing well, they feel like I have money. So anytime the area boys tax me at a point, and you don't want, because this was an Igbo guy in a foreign place, so I didn't want to attract enemies to myself. Maybe they no come for night, come attack me or something like that. You get? So anytime they shine eye for me, I just give them something and rest, because they're already feeling like I had more because of the way I dress. So imagine if I now bought a car in that house, bro, they'll kill you. I promise you. You get? So I had to leave. It was when I now lived, went to a better place, with all my neighbors had cars. It made sense before I now bought my own. You get what I'm trying to say? So invest to be in a good place. Invest to live in rich neighborhoods. Invest to live in places that you'll be inspired. Don't see, house rent is not something to be, to be economical about. Where you live has a lot of chances to play and interplay with your destiny. Where you live. Where you sleep and wake up every day has a very high chance of guaranteeing if you be successful in life or if you're going to die poor. I promise you. So invest to be in a good place. Invest to be in a good environment. Don't take it for granted. So these are some of the discussions. Everything I'm doing here, everything I'm just saying is just a recap. These are some of the discussions that we had in the first, last 2 weeks, when I mentioned the purpose, the principle, and the principle, purpose, and planning for money. Okay, these are some of the things we mentioned. Okay, also mentioned that that you can get rich by purpose. You can get rich, with principles. You maintain the wealth by purpose, and then you multiply the wealth by planning. These are some of the discussions also we had on the first time. Okay, and I gave you guys some principles also: knowledge, speed, consistency, excellence, availability, and adaptability. These are some principles we discussed in the first part of this thing. Okay, now today we're going to be talking, moving to the second part, which is the purpose of money. So are you guys ready? Are you guys ready? If you are ready, please let me know in the comment section that you guys are ready, so that we can go full on into this discussion today. Okay, we're going to talk about the purpose of money. What are the why does money, what do you do with money when you make money? I think that's the way to ask the question. So what do you do with money? When money comes to your life, what is it for? What exactly? How do we know, or what do you use your money for? And we can say that you are using your money well. Because sometimes, you see some people, maybe they get their first, some people make their first 100, some people make their first million. When they make their first million, they buy a car. Somebody else makes his first million, buys a land. Somebody else makes his first million, gives it to church as seed. Somebody makes his first million and decides to, spend it, lavish it, goes to club, spends all the money. And what is the factor how do we judge who used that money correctly? How do we know who used that money correctly? You hear some people say things like, when you make your first salary, give it to your pastor. Some will say, if you make your first salary, use it and give to motherless babies home or something, give it to charity. Some would say, if you make your first million, give it to your father. Some would say, give it to your mother. How do we know who is right? Who do you actually give it to? So these are some of the discussions we'll have today, and I'm hopeful that you learn a lot from it. Because personally, when I started earning, the very first salary I made, prior to what I had even heard, I actually gave it to my mom. Now, some other people would say, give it to God, sow it as a seed to God, which is still beautiful to do, like very beautiful to do. But I gave to my mom regardless. Okay. And there was a reason for that. Okay. Now, probably we'll dive into that discussion much later, but I just want to go head on into what we have to do. We don't take much time. We're already 30 minutes, almost 30 minutes into today's discussion. All right. So let's proceed. So the purpose of money, there are four things that money does. There are four things I'll highlight. There are more than four things that money can do or should do in your life, but I'll mention just four of them. I see a lot of you typing ready, ready, ready. I see all of you. Okay, so let's go. So there are four things that money should do in your life. Let me, I just noticed now that I didn't post the link on my WhatsApp status. Okay, it's fine. So there are four things that money should do in your life. The first thing that money should do in your life is money should make your life better first. Now, there is a principle in the scriptures that says, love your neighbor as you love yourself. Now, that scripture, a lot of people confuse it and they don't even get what it says. That scripture says more of love yourself than it says love your neighbor. Because what is the yardstick of measurement of how you love? It says, as you love yourself. That means you can only love your neighbor to the extent to which you love yourself. And if you do not love yourself, no matter how far you think you are giving out love, is not enough for the neighbor. That's a lot of people that's why a lot of relationships actually crash. They will say, but I'm showing you love. I'm showing you love, because their interpretation and definition of love is capped by their experience of love for themselves. A man or a woman who does not love himself, no matter how hard he tries, will not be able to love you. So the principle says, love your neighbor as you love yourself. So first of all, you must love yourself. And let me even tell you something. Do you know that it is harder to love yourself than it is to love other people? It is much more easier to love somebody else than it is to love yourself. Yeah, because you know you. You might not know the other person. How many times you meet somebody? Let's say you're courting a lady. Maybe you want to marry a lady. Maybe you guys, let's say you guys are not courting. You meet her maybe 6 hours a day. Let's even assume that you guys meet 6 hours every day. You only know the person 6 hours of their life. The remaining 18 hours of the day, you're not with them. You don't know what they're doing. But you know you, because you live with you every single day. You know the things that is going on inside your head. You know the terrible thoughts that are inside your head. You know how terrible that you know that you should be here, but you're here. You know how lazy you are. You know how you've fallen short of your own standards many, many, many times. So most times it's easier to love other people actually than it is to love yourself. See, God is wise. There's a reason why he said it that way, that you must love your neighbor as you love yourself. So you must love yourself first. When money comes into your life, first thing you should do, you should make your life better. First of all, it should make you a better person in the sense of your experiences of life should be better. Experiences now, I mean, including your emotions, including the friends around you, including the access you have, including the connections, the relationships. All these things should be affected when you begin to make money. Because it takes somebody that is out of the pit to help somebody else to come out of the pit. Two people inside pit cannot help each other. First, once you make money, I know in Nigeria there's a black tax ongoing where a lot of older people, a lot of older parents believe that their children is their retirement plan. So they hope that maybe when they are in their 40s or 50s or 60s, their children will not start taking care of them. That's an upside down system. You understand? I know all those things exist. But truth be told, if you're not able to, first of all, help yourself, bring yourself fully out of poverty, you'll not be able to help somebody else. Now, don't get me wrong. Now, this does not mean that while you are in the process that you should not be helping. That's not what I'm saying. even while you are in the process, you should be helping other people. While you are in the process, you should be able to be helping other people to come out of, poverty. Give to the poor, give to charity, bless people as much as you possibly can. But however, you should not do it to the point that you now overlook your own growth as a person, your personal development, your mental growth, your physical growth. So once money comes into your life, that should be one of the first things that you must invest in. Money must make your life better first. Your own first. Now, don't interpret this as selfishness, because I'm trying to draw the line so that you guys don't misinterpret what I'm saying. I remember when I started making money, when I moved into a bigger apartment. I was living in a 1-bedroom, like very big 1-bedroom apartment, very big parlor. It looked like, if you don't know, you think probably it's like 3-bedroom. You understand? It was just one. I was living, I would say I was living large. I was just alone. So all the money I was making was just for me, and maybe a little to send home here and there. So I had a little bit of excess. I started making things, put solar, put inverter, put batteries. To give myself constant light, first of all, because I need to be constantly productive. Whatever that has brought this money, I must sustain it to keep bringing this money. This money must not finish. I invested in me first. Now, the second thing I did, I started giving. I went to my pastor at the time, who is still my pastor. I will not call his name because of what I want to say, though. I went to him and told him, I installed solar in my house, and my house has 24 hours light. So I would love to do the same in your own house. I know you're a man of God, and you need lights. And I undertook the project, spent a couple of millions trying to install, make sure that his house had constant light. You understand? But first of all, it was me. I did it for myself. I got comfortable. Then I did for others. And other people I started paying. In fact, when I started paying, I was paying a school fees for a few people already, even while on school, while I was in campus. But when I started making more money, I started adding a few people to that plan. Now, okay, somebody tells me, maybe I hear, okay, this person is not going to school because of so and so, the mother or father cannot afford. I come in. You understand? Because now I have enough for me and then spare. So first of all, see, if you're not able to use your money to, first of all, take care of yourself, you will not even see the need, first of all, to do for other people. I'm telling you, see, I just hope you guys are not interpreting this thing as being selfish. But I'm telling you what has changed me. Because by the time you see the difference from, if for instance now, somebody who is trekking, every day you're trekking, you will not see a problem if, let's say, your pastor is trekking, or if, let's say, your parents are trekking, your mother or your father or your loved ones, your uncle, or somebody that helps your family is trekking. If you're also trekking, you won't see the need to, because you feel like nothing there. All of us can trek. It's not an issue. It's not a big deal. But when you have moved from trekking and you now buy a small car, you will now see that, okay, life is easier when I can just stand up and move to anywhere I have to go. I don't have to think of looking for bus or booking boat, looking for taxi. Life is easier. So that way, now you know the difference between what you were experiencing where you didn't have that privilege and what you are now experiencing. Now you can experience it because you don't have the privilege of money. That's when you can be able to look at another person and see that and be like, okay, this person needs an upgrade. So first of all, money should take care of you first. Don't take what I'm telling you lightly. Once you have money, don't allow black tax to kill you. I had a particular pastor mention this, and it blessed me in no small way. So he said that when he was growing up, he was the firstborn in his family. So every single time, when the dad, mom, they didn't have money. So he was the firstborn. When he had finished school, just barely making ends meet. Like he just started pastoring, just trying to live and just help himself. Every time they are calling him from home, your brother needs school fees, your sister needs school fees, you are the firstborn, help us. He will make 100, spend 95 on the family. The remaining 5 is not even enough to feed himself. And that was it. For many years, he just kept struggling back to back to back to back. So one day wisdom came to him. And he was like, He called a family meeting, and told sat everybody, brother, sister, mother, father, sat them down, told them, Daddy, these are your children. Mommy, these are your children. My brothers and sisters, this is your father, this is your mother. I did not give birth to you. And he told them, anything you need in this life, this is your father, this is your mother. Nobody should call me again. And zoomed. Sent nothing. See, nothing, nada, home. Guess what? 3 years later, they were all still alive. The mom was alive, the dad was alive, the brother was alive, the sister was alive, all of them doing well. Guess what now? He now had money, and he now had enough to comfortably take care of them. If you kill yourself before your time, I promise you, the best we can say is, he was a good guy. When he was alive, he was good. And that is it. If you don't take care of yourself first and make sure that you are giving from your overflow. Let me not use the word overflow. It sounds a bit selfish. You're giving from a place of fullness. At least you already have enough to replicate, so enough to guarantee that you still have tomorrow to give. Because if you give all you can tomorrow, what is left? Imagine when you eat, maybe you harvest mango and you eat all the mango and throw away all the seed. You eat the mango, swallow all the seed. Where's the next mango tree is going to come from? So in every food, in every abundance, or in every money that comes to your hand, there is food inside, there is seed inside. Don't give the food and the seed. You know what I'm saying? Every money that comes to your life, there is money inside for food. There is money inside for seed. Don't eat the money and eat the seed. Don't eat the one for food and eat the seed. Don't give away the seed. So once money comes into your hand, take care of yourself first. Ensure that the money has been put in a place or in a position where you can make more money. And then when the money makes more money, you can give from that money the money has made, not from the first parent of the money. I hope this is making sense. If it makes sense, type "makes sense" on the comment section. Let me be sure it makes sense. So let's proceed to number 2. Hope you guys are enjoying this, because I'm enjoying myself. Because I'm enjoying myself. God, I've not slept real good sleep for a few days now. See, my eyes are red, but I'm fine. So if you guys are enjoying this, please type "make sense" on the comment section. Let me be sure it's making sense. Let's move to number 2. Number 2, purpose of money. Number 2, purpose of money. All right. So I see a few people typing "make sense." All right. So let's proceed. Number 2, purpose of money is to make others better. Now you have made yourself better. Now you've been able to at least come out from the point where your money is beginning to make more money. Now the next thing is begin to make other people better. Okay. See, why do you think many of the rich people in this world give a lot to charity? You see, Bill Gates, somebody like Warren Buffett, says that before he dies, he'll give out 90%, 95% of his money. All his money. I can't even remember now. That he'll give out all his money. In fact, as at when him and Bill Gates were still doing number 1, number 2, number 2 on the world's richest list, he donated most part of his money to Bill Gates and Melinda Foundation. To tell you that he wasn't even interested in the position in the ranking. Somebody that is if it was in Nigeria, it would have been rivalry. You understand? It would have been a matter of contention. But somebody else, 2 of you are like number 1, number 2, and you're giving him your own money, more of your money, because he has a foundation that is helping people. So there's a reason for that. Aside the fact, of course, I know some use it to tax and all of that. But however, at the end of the day, you can't downplay the power of giving. Once you have money, please help people. Help people. See, I can share a lot of testimonials for you, but today is not the day. Maybe by the time we maybe talk a bit more spiritual stuff, then maybe I'll tell you about some things I've done in this life, some kind of dangerous givings I've given in this life, not just to church, not just to men or women of God, but to people. I'm telling you, but today is not the day. So as much as possible, please give. If you can afford it, please give. Once you have enough for yourself, begin to give. Look out for, see, you can do this as a partnership, which is what I want to advise you guys. You can partner with an orphanage. Just go to the orphanage and try this thing I'm telling you. I know this looks like it's a spiritual principle I'm giving you, and it is. Try this thing I'm telling you. Go to an orphanage that is near you. Tell them that as far as God keeps blessing you, as far as you keep making money in this life, you'll be giving them 1 carton of Indomie every month. If that is what you can afford, just start with it. See, you can't do this, and I'm telling you, for 12 months consistently and not see something change in your life. I'm telling you some of the things I do. You can make that as a vow to yourself and to God, that as far as God keeps blessing you with money, this orphanage will not go down, or this particular person must be going to school, or this particular church will not lack this thing, or somehow, whatever. See, if you do this partnership, I'm telling you what I'm doing. I won't tell you what I'm not doing. There was a time I was in a particular church. I was buying communion for the church for 1 full year. Every time, and this is a church that has like hundreds of people, thousands of people actually. Every single communion week, because take communion every week, I was buying the communion myself with my own money. In fact, most times, every year is usually a new partnership. Every year, sometimes a full season, something new. I'll look for somewhere that I'll be sure I'll make between me and God. God, as I'm doing this, your own is, provided you keep giving me this money, I'll keep doing this thing. It is, see, this I'm telling you works. So this I'm telling you works. You can try it. If it doesn't work, come back and tell me. But you will not come back, because it will. Okay, make that as a, see, that's your duty. That's the duty you owe this world. That's one of your, that's what they call it, corporate social responsibility. You hear a lot of people say, okay, CSR project. Before it became a corporate world, it has always been a principle of life that as much as you receive in life, you also give. And this principle is factored in everything that God put creation. Check. From rain coming down, the same rain that comes down is the same rain that goes up and still comes down and rains as rain again. If at any point rain does not come down, rain will not fall. You know what I'm trying to say? See, you can't keep, the more you give, the more you receive. It's principle of life. Imagine if you just keep eating. You just keep eating every day. You don't go to the toilet, or you keep drinking water every day. There's a problem. That's why when people can't pass urine, is a serious problem. They go to hospital, go on dialysis to be able to pass urine, because that's the principle of life. You can't keep taking without giving out. And the capacity to which you give is the capacity to which you receive. It's a principle of life. See, I don't know how else to say this thing the way it is in my. I just hope you guys are seeing the intensity of this, and I'm telling you, this I'm teaching you. These are things that will guarantee that for a lifetime, you will never run out of money. My wife asked me a question recently. She said, "How do you always have money? Why is it that you always have money?" This is simple principle of life. Look for somewhere you can be partnering as a giver, whether it's an orphanage or a widow that actually needs the money. Partner with them, not partnership. See, just, you don't need to tell them. It's between you and God. God, as you're giving, if provided every month you're giving me this amount of money, I'll make sure that this amount of money, I'm buying one bag of rice for this widow and her family. See, just make that as a principle. You will be shocked how the supply never dries. This I'm telling you is something I'm practicing till today. The first time I started paying school fees for somebody, I was in 400 level. I was a fellow student. One of our members in church died, and the wife was widowed. And I was in church one day during offering. I was just sitting at the back, had like 3-4 children. So I was sitting at the back and I was just wondering how are they really going to survive, because I mean the wife, was just doing a petty business or something like that. I was just thinking, I said, God, well, if you help me, I can help her. I decided, okay, God, this is between me and you. Provided you are giving me money, provided you're blessing me, provided I'm receiving something from you, one of her children becomes I adopted one of her children as my responsibility and made it as a covenant between me and God. I said, God, provided you keep giving me the money, provided you keep blessing me, this child, this children, or this particular one, because I picked one out of them. And I told the woman, I told her, from now to forever, this child, everything that is school fees, school uniform, anything that has to do with school, mobility to school, laptop, my responsibility from this day on. This thing I'm telling you, I left school. This thing I started it in 2016, beginning of 2017. This is how many years later now? This is 8 years later. I'm still paying that boy's school fees. And guess what? The money has not finished. Every single time she asks for the money, there's always money available. The school fees have increased because we've changed school, better school. The money has not stopped coming. Now, this is just one out of the many things I do. This thing is a principle of life. The capacity to which you give is the capacity to which you receive. If you drink plenty water now, guess what? Before now to to when you go to bed, you probably pee more 5 times. Because there must be a giving part. You can't just keep receiving forever. You must also be giving. So if the only thing you do when money comes to you is to, keep it all for yourself, can all you get and get all you can, trust me, it's just a matter of time. A matter of time, you start going down. Why do you think fat people sink easily? This is because there is too much fat. They can't float. Don't mind me, I'm just joking, but yeah, at least you get the point. You understand? Don't just keep only for yourself. Once you are able to, you can afford it, please give. Make it a partnership between you and God, or whatever deity you believe in. Let's move to number 3. Is it making sense? Please, if it's making sense, let me know it's making sense. Let's proceed to number. Okay, someone is asking a question. Very beautiful question. He said, how can a salary earner, or I think this is earner, what is right? How can a salary earner embark on this? Very beautiful. Now you know, if a salary earner is even easier for you because you know how much you're earning. See, the problem is that you think you have to give big. So you are looking at your salary and you're wondering, is this big enough to give? No. As little as 1,000. See, if that is what you can afford, is beautiful. It's fine. Don't wait till you can give 100 million. If your salary is 10,000 naira, 500 naira is good. Look for somebody who actually values that 500, who that 500 can change their life. Make it a partnership. See, try this and I'm telling you for 1 year. If nothing changes your life for 1 year, I don't know how you guys, you can bet me. What's today's date now? Today is 22nd of November. I dare one of you to start this and I'm telling you. This 22nd of November, 2025. Write this date now and start this and I'm telling you. If nothing changes in your life in 1 year, come back. Whatever money you spent, I'll give it back to you personally. I promise you. Start this, and I'm telling you, have that. See, I don't know how it depends on you. It can even be your neighbor. You know your neighbor's child is not going to school. How much is the school fees? 10,000. You have the money. 10,000 naira, and that becomes you just tell God, as far as you keep giving me this 10,000 naira, as far as this is available every month, I will give this money to make sure that this person is going to school. It becomes your partnership. Now, don't take more than you, don't bite more than you can chew. I mean, how did they even say it? This thing is something you, at your capacity per time, because you can't solve everybody's problem. That's the truth. You understand? So I already know what my capacity is. So once I exhaust the capacity I have for giving, that's the one that now waiting. I don't go do past myself, because this is still the same balance. Anytime you start stooling and you can't eat, is a real problem, because at some point you become dehydrated and people die from dehydration. So in as much as you want to give out, don't overgive. Don't give the one that will kill you. You hear what I'm saying? Okay, see it. I'm gonna see live testimonial here. Sense making. I be testimony of giving. Oh, this year alone, a 3 plot of land I buy. How I take buy them, I don't know. Play with giving. Take and play first. Take and play first. All right. So let's move to number 3. Number 3. I'm glad you guys are getting value. So down to number 3 reasons why you make money and what's the purpose of money, what you should use money for. Number 3 is change culture. See, I believe that God didn't put us into this life to just enjoy life and build houses in Asokoro and Metama and then die. That's a pretty small life. Very, very small life. When you see people who, in every argument, they try to show you that they have money, those are the smallest human beings in life. When you hear people, the slightest argument, they try to show you that they have money. Those are small people, small human beings. If at the slightest provocation, you're like, where's your car? Where's your house? You're just so small. So small. You understand? I mean, and human beings are like that. They hinge their self-esteem to material things. Anything that when you leave it and die, you can no longer use it, is useless while you are living. The only things that are valuable in life are the things that when you leave them and die, other people can continue to benefit from it. That even when they die, other people that's after you now, even when the people that benefit from it die, other people will keep benefiting from it. And this is not money. Because one generation can pack money and leave. The remaining generation will sell the whole thing, sell the whole property. That's all. That's why what you leave in people in this world is more important than what you leave for them. If you like, leave them 5 mansions in Banana Island, 20 in Metama. If you don't leave anything inside of them, you left nothing. Absolutely nothing. I was telling one of my relatives that I don't subscribe to that notion of living unreasonable amount of wealth for your nest of kin. I believe in living something for generation, for your generation after you, but not in such a don't make them useless. That's what I'm trying to say. Don't make your next generation useless. The joy of the hunt is what makes a man a man. It's not the joy of the hunted. When the hunter has gone and killed for you, there's nothing else to enjoy. It's the joy of the hunt that makes you strong and relevant as a human being. So don't make your nest of kin useless. You just leave everything in the world for them. Leave something inside of them that even if you don't leave anything for them, what you left inside of them can get everything you'd have left for them. That's what it means to be a matured, living this world in a matured way. Because at the end of the day, see, wealth, as scripture says, can develop wings and fly. Money is fleeting. I promise you, money is the most deceptive thing in this world. Highly deceptive. And if you're not careful and it eats you up, the same money you're pursuing is the same money that will destroy you. So I was telling my relative that I don't believe in that notion of leaving a necessary amount of wealth. I'll leave enough for them to enjoy and live for the next generation, but not enough to make them useless, to damage their own hunt. There's this adage they say that, wealthy people make poor people and poor people make wealthy people, or something like that. And most of the time it's true. Because when you've made all the way available for them, they come out and there's nothing else to do. There's nothing else to do. Why do you think the children of rich people are usually, what people call, useless? You understand? Because most of the time, their father didn't leave anything else for them to do. And you won't blame them. See, don't blame any wealthy person whose children are wayward. Don't blame the children. Blame the parents. You understand? Because they came into this world and they just didn't have to struggle. There was nothing for them to struggle for. They stretch their hand, there is food. Stretch their leg, there are 5 cars available. They shift their head, there are 3 plots of land available for them. So even if it were you, you'll be spoiled because there's nothing to hustle for. So if you're not careful, you are the one that will make your nest of kin really useless. So don't be that person that is always interested in leaving wealth for people. Leave wealth inside of them. Leave a legacy in such a way that even when you go, there's something inside of them that can reproduce everything you left for them, even if you didn't leave anything. That's what I'm talking about. That's the real wealth. When you're able to leave wealth inside of people. And the only way you can do that is by character, by shaping culture. You shape the culture the way they behave. You shape the culture the way they talk. That's how you change lives. So once money begins to come into your life, the third thing to think about is to begin to change culture. Begin to take actions that directly influence people's way of life. What is culture? People's way of life. That's basic, social studies. People's way of life. How people live, how people play, how people die. That's culture. So once you have money, please don't make that mistake of, just eating for yourself. Shape culture with it. Leave something for that your children would, when they remember it, it's valuable enough for them to reproduce results. You get what I'm trying to say? So don't try to leave results for them. Leave them with process. Give them the process. Pass it down to them in terms of character and discipline. Finally, what is the last thing we do with money before we round up on the purpose of money and then we enter planning for wealth multiplication, like multiplying wealth? All right. Finally, what is the final thing that you need money for? First of all, let me do a recap. Okay, we said first of all, money should make you better. That's number 1. Number 2, money should make the people around you better. Number 3, money should be able to change culture. And then number 4, money should be used to leave a positive legacy. Now, what I mean by legacy, and let me try to differentiate it from what I mean by shaping culture. Legacy is building something that continues to serve a purpose that you would have been serving, even if, let's say, when you transcend, when you die. Leaving a legacy is building something, whether physical now or not, building something that would continue to serve or give value to people years after you have gone. If you can, build hospitals. If you can, build schools. If you can, add something to society that forever and ever, many years after you have gone, it will continue to create wealth. Continue to create value, sorry. There are some communities you go to, until today, the borehole that one Pajona built in 1965, it was they are still using till today. That's a legacy. Nobody else has come to the community to build anything. The one that Pajona did is the one they are still using till today, since 1967. That's a legacy. So when you can afford it, leave a legacy for people. Build something monumental that will continue to guarantee value or replication of value many years after you have gone. Leave a legacy. Don't just build tall buildings and have the fame of building. See, let me tell you, in the race of tallest buildings, you can't win until we get into the sky. Currently now saying, is it the Burj Khalifa is the biggest, is tallest building in the world? It's because nobody has taken them serious to build something taller. Then somebody takes them, because there's still a lot of space from the height of it to where the troposphere started. I mean, stratosphere now, which one? There's still a lot of space. So there's still space for somebody to surpass them if the person is interested. So don't let your goal in life not be build tallest building. Trust me, give it under 5 years, somebody will build something taller than your own. Or you want to build the largest, you want to build the biggest house in Abia State. You are small. You are very small. Because give it 2 years or 5 years, somebody will build something bigger. You know what I'm saying? So please leave a legacy. Leave a legacy with your money. If you have money, leave a legacy with it. All right. So let's go into planning for wealth, and then we round up this series. Please, if you missed part one of this series, I really would advise you to go watch it. If you missed part one of this series, please go and watch it. It will change your life in no small way. I promise you that. So please, after now, go and watch that part one. Here is something that after I heard about students sponsorship from, I quickly joined the realm. I get one student where I the sponsor like this. Now, so me and God take enter covenant words. Don't leave word to your next of kin to make them useless for themselves. Fantastic. I'm glad you guys are following. All right. So let's talk about planning for wealth. What do you do with money when you begin to make money? Okay. What do you do with money when you begin to make money? So let's go ahead. So first thing you do with money when you decide to plan for money, because like I said, let me make that sentence again. Principles bring money into your life. Purpose maintains the money. Planning multiplies the money. That is the sentence that brought about everything we're discussing today. Principles would help you to acquire the money. Purpose will help you to maintain the money. That's why everything I'm saying here is something that will help you to make sure that money will keep coming. Both taking care of yourself first, taking care of other people, shaping culture, leaving a legacy. Everything is wired into making sure that money is maintained. Multiplying the money is where planning comes in, which is what we're going to talk about. And I'll try to divide it into 3 phases. So there are 3 types of plan that you must have for every money that comes into your mind, into your hand. Number 1 plan is plan for today. That is, plan for the money, what you use the money for, as at the time it is coming. What I've learned from my little experience with wealth is that until there is a goal in front of you, the money will never come to your hand. I'm telling you. This has been my experience. Until there is a goal for money, the money never comes. Every single time you just want to have money just because you feel like having money is good, the money will never come. Until there's a purpose in your life, then the money starts coming. If you've ever maybe did a building project, or maybe you start building, maybe you started building a house, I promise you, you will not know how much you have until you begin to channel it inside a particular project where you can easily count the cost. For instance, a house. Maybe you used, maybe let's say 7 million to do foundation, you use maybe another 5-6 million to do block work, lintel, maybe, and another maybe 10-15 million. You can count it. Until you have a project like that in your life that can easily gauge where the money is going to, you continue to waste money. And you will not even know you are wasting money until you actually sit down and begin to count the cost. A money that does not have purpose never comes to your life. I remember when I was in secondary school, when BlackBerry was the main thing. In 500 level, I wanted to get a BlackBerry. Now, there was this small borehole we had in front of our house. I would go there and sell water, and I was saving money. And at some point, I was like, okay, I need to actually get this, because there's one I love, BlackBerry Core 5. For that was only BlackBerry that was full screen touch. I loved it. I went to the market. I priced it. As at then, they told me it was 45,000 naira. And I went into saving, like sporadic, crazy saving. I wasn't eating. Sometimes the money I would want to use and eat, I'll save it because I want to buy this phone. In a space of 3 months, I was able to save that money and I bought that phone. 3 months. Just 3 months. When I entered university, I planned that from 100 level to 500 level, that I was going to save at least 500,000 by the time I'm graduating from university, because my pocket money every month was about 25,000-30,000. And by the time my uncle gives me, my brother, my sister gives me, in a month, I can get 40,000-50,000. So I did the calculation. If I'm making between 40,000-50,000 every month, if I'm able to save half of that money, by 500 level, I should be able to have 500,000. Guess what? 500 level, I had nothing. I didn't save a dime. 100 level, I was broke in 500 and I was in 100 level. What was the difference? As a secondary school student, SS2 student, I was able to save 45,000 to buy a phone in 3 months. And in 5 years, I can't even have 500. I don't even have 45,000 that I was able to save in 3 months. I didn't have 45,000 in 500 level for 5 years. What was the difference? Very simple. The money I was saving in secondary school in SS2 was because I wanted to buy a phone. The money I wanted to save when I was in school was simply because I just wanted to have money. Money for what? Nothing. Because there was no plan I had for the money, even if I saved it. Money that does not have purpose will never come to your life. So there must be a goal for that money, first of all. That's why things like goal setting is things that you can't take for granted. At the beginning of every year, there must be a goal of what you want to achieve for the next year, or for the next month, or for the next quarter, or for the next 5 years. Most of my goals are 5 years. I set a goal for the next 5 years. This is what I want to achieve. This is what I want to do when I'm 30. This is what I want to do when I'm 35, 40, 50. You set goals. So those goals is now what makes sure that when the money is coming, the money already knows where it's going. So the money comes. But money that comes in your life and is confused, doesn't know where it's going, will not stay. It will go any other place, but never into the main purpose. So your money should have a purpose, have a plan for today. Every single money that comes into your life, there must be a plan for it today. What am I doing with this money today? Because if you can't budget for today, it becomes difficult for you to plan what you're going to do, with the money, tomorrow. So for today, budget for today. This is what this is how much I'm going to use to maybe eat. This is what I'm going to use to, go out, take care of myself, buy clothes, buy t-shirts or whatever. Yeah. So money must have a purpose. Must. MUST must. Money must have a purpose. Plan for today. Now, the second kind of planning you will do for money is plan for tomorrow. Now, what I mean tomorrow is, okay, let's say plan for future. Let me not use the word tomorrow. Plan for future. Planning for future is what the money that is coming today should be able to achieve tomorrow. So let's say you make 100,000 every month. If the only thing you do with 100,000 is spend all of it on things that make you happy today. And when I mean today, I don't mean day to day. I mean like at your present stage of life. If the money is used to spend for everything that will make you happy at that current stage of life, trust me, no matter how bigger the money gets, you'll still be doing the same thing with the money. There's this principle that is called the what's the name of this principle now? Is it Huntington's principle now or something? But the principle says that money expenses rise to the to any level of income. That means if you make more, you want to spend more because your appetites will keep changing. You get what I'm saying? So if you're not careful with money, if you're not careful for planning for money, planning money for tomorrow, your expenses will keep taking the money. That's why some of you were earning 50,000 and you resign from the job, say the money is too small, and you got another job paying you 200,000. The same problems you were having when you were doing the 50,000 naira job is the same problems you're having now. You're still earning 200,000. And I promise you, even if you find a 500,000 naira job, it is the same problems you'll be having, because expenses will always rise to the size of your income. And if you're not careful and conscious about it and have zero plans for the future, you keep doing the same thing just on a bigger scale with money. To buy t-shirts every time it comes, you buy maybe t-shirt. You used to buy 3,000 naira t-shirt when we are owing any 100,000. When you start earning 200,000, you start buying 6,000 naira t-shirt. When you start earning 500,000, you start buying maybe 10,000 naira t-shirt. The same thing you're doing, just on a bigger scale. So be careful about planning for the future. Every money that comes into your hand, after the year, you will look for it and wonder. Some of you, at the end of the year, if you print your bank statement and see how much you spent, even you don't believe it. But it's you that spent it. Nobody stole the money. Some of you, if you print your bank statement and they show it to you and block the name, you won't believe it's your own. You won't believe it's your bank statement because of all the useless things you're using the money for. So you must have a plan for the future. Every money that comes into your hand has a present and a future. Don't spend the future part of that money on today, unless you don't plan to eat anything tomorrow. You understand? Plan for the future. Invest. Okay, I think the invest part I'll talk about in the final point that I have here. But please plan for future. Have future plans for whatever money comes into your hand. Don't be the person that just spends recklessly. Don't enjoy your life or try to live up to other people's you're spending your capital to match with people who are spending their profits. Your neighbor buys a car with profits. He makes 20 million naira every month and uses 5 million to buy car. You are making 4 million every month. You now borrow extra 1 million to use 5 million to buy the car that your neighbor bought with profit and has change. You know what I'm saying? Please don't be that foolish. And let me even tell you something. Let me tell you, I know this is not related to money, but it will help you. Nobody actually cares that much about you. I promise you. Nobody cares that much about you. There's this thing they call, is it the see me syndrome or something, or is it watch me syndrome? I can't remember the name now, but it's a principle that people assume that people care more about them than people actually care. So that feeling of they are watching me, they want to see the kind of car I drive, they want to see the kind of clothes I put on. I promise you, nobody wakes up in the morning thinking about the car you're driving. See, let's do this. See, let's do a practical now and be truthful with me. Everybody here loves their mother. You love your mom, you love your father. Let me use your mom, because I feel like people love, I don't know why children love their mother more. But let's assume all of us, we all love our mom in life. Now, let me ask you a question. Let's assume you're not living in the same city with your mother. Maybe you're living in maybe Abuja. Your mom is living in maybe, let's say, Imo State or something. Now, let's be truthful with ourselves. Is it every day you wake up that you are wondering what your mother is eating today? What she ate in the afternoon? What she ate in the night? You don't care. You live your life normally until the day it comes to your mind, okay, I've not heard from her. You call. So even your own mother, you don't even care that much. And guess what? Your mom also doesn't care that much. Now, that does not mean that they don't love you, but they are not thinking about you as much as you think. So this problem of I have to drive a certain car so that we don't care. I swear, we don't care. I don't wake up every day thinking about what any other person is doing. I'm too caught up with my own life. I'm too caught up in trying to, handle my own stuff, trying to put myself together. I don't have that time to be thinking of what did he eat today, which kind of house is he living. Nobody really cares that much as you think. If your own parents or your own loved ones, you don't even think about them that much on a daily basis. So how much do you think even people that don't care about you are even thinking about you? There are some people you faves, let's say all your faves online. Maybe you're a fan of Davido or a fan of Wizkid or something. You see every day you think of Davido. The only time is when maybe you see him, somebody post him, maybe Tunde not to post him, or indicate you post him, be like, not true. Now my what's this they call it now? Idolo. Now my idolo be this one. But on a normal day, you can go 3 days without thinking about the idolo. You know, send about the idolo until the next time you hear about him. Then you now remember, I really love this guy. My idolo. Such is life. People don't care about you. See, the only person in this world that cares about you that much and thinks about you every day is God. It's only God that has that capacity to love you and think about you every single second of the day. Apart from God, that's it. Nobody cares what you're eating. Nobody cares what you're drinking. So don't spend money trying to impress people who don't care. Don't spend money trying to impress people who don't send you. If you die today, they will not come to your burial. They will even post it on WhatsApp. So why kill yourself to impress people like that? If people don't care about you that much, why do everything in this life to impress those kind of people? Nobody cares, man. You know what I'm saying? Don't kill yourself for humans. Kill yourself for a human being that can die just like you. That's the height of foolishness. You understand? Nobody cares that much. So as much as possible, use your money to make sure that your future is secured. The future of people around you. You're shaping culture. You're leaving a legacy. But aside that, every other thing is just extra. Everything else is extra. And I promise you, when you begin to make true impact, nobody cares what you drive. Who cares about what Ronaldo drives? Even if he likes, let him show up in a keke. The respect that they give him is maximum. Oh my God. See, Ronaldo was at the White House the other day. Did anybody tell us the car he used to go there? Who asked which car did he use to go there? Because we don't care. There's a level of excellence and legacy that you put into this earth. Nobody cares about any other thing material. That's why I told you guys, people that care about material things are small people, small humans. There's a level of impact you make. Nobody cares anymore. If you like, show up in a keke na pep, they will give you maximum respect. Nobody cares the designer shoes he was wearing. All these days, see people, everybody Gucci, Balenciaga. Bro, you are small. You are just too small, but you're not seeing it. Because you're trying to increase your self-worth with material things. It's an impossibility. Just like you're dressing shit, physics. You dress it, you arrange it, you put perfume on it. It's still shit. Bullshit. You get what I mean? You get? So don't allow material things to define your value. People like Nelson Mandela, who cares the car he was driving? Do you care? Nobody cares, man. The man left a legacy. it's more people that care about these things. See, they can't drive. See, those things are good if you can afford it. And I'm not saying this because I have 2 cars. You understand? So if you can, and 2 good ones, actually, you get. So if you can, drive a good car, but don't derive your value from it. Don't allow it to give you a sense of value. Don't. That's too small. You're too cheap. I see people on Instagram. Somebody maybe makes a comment, maybe a rich person maybe says something, and somebody just, by respect, to maybe just ask a question, or maybe just trying to contribute. People just shading him. Make your own money first before you talk. How about? And you're not even trying to. It's not like I know some people try to shade rich people, which I don't support. But I mean, people who actually just try to contribute, or maybe even ask questions. See people shading them. Say, when you get your own money, do like that. Hey, poor man, they advise rich man. How about? Poor man no get talk again. Because we live in a society with everybody blinded by material things that they will leave this world for. By all means, be rich. By all means, be rich. By all legal means possible, be rich. But don't sell your soul for it. By all legal means, have money and have a lot of it. But don't sell yourself short. Don't sell your self-esteem because of it. It's not worth it. Because at the end of the day, it will only bring regrets. I'm telling you, it will only bring regrets at the end of the day. So don't allow people to don't allow people to kill your self-esteem just because of rubbish things. You get what I'm saying? I hope you guys are getting this thing, because finally, hope you guys are getting value. If you're getting value, please let me know you guys are getting value. Let me know you guys are getting value. Let me know you guys are getting value for your time. Finally. Finally, what do you do with your money? Final plan for your money. Plan for the next generation. Plan for the next generation. I already mentioned it in passing, but as much as possible, I want to re-emphasize it. Now, the only guarantee that your money would forever remain is the fact that you have started moving the money from being a physical money, from being physical wealth, to wealth inside of the people around you. Now, I'll try to relate this now, because this is like the most practical part of what I want to teach now. This is the most practical part. Let's say you are the owner of a company. You run a company. You are the CEO of your company. You are the founder of your company. One of the things that you must not take for granted is investing in the people that are working with you. It is people that build companies, not systems. People build systems. Systems build companies. As a founder, your work is very simple. Build people. People build the systems. System runs the company. When you see people who are insecure, when you see people who suffer from insecurity, maybe you're the guy at the office, there's somebody else that is also as equally as talented as you, but every single time you're trying to push them down, you don't want anybody to see them, because you want to preserve your relevance by constantly showing yourself as the Oga of the office. What that only does is very simple. It reduces the multiplier effect of your company. As much as possible, invest in people. Investment in people is what guarantees that the money you're making never stops, because it gives leverage. Now, this is the part where when you see people make money in such a way that it's almost impossible that they can go down. There are some people you mentioned now. It's almost impossible that they can never become poor again in this life. Even if you seize all their assets, they will come back up because they have leverage of people. I heard somebody from, somebody shared a testimony how he wanted to do a project, 10 million naira project. This was many years ago. This was probably maybe around maybe 2010, 2009, those kind of time, when 1 million was actually big money. So he needed to do something that would take him 10 million. So he went to church one day and the pastor preached. He was Pastor Samade, was his pastor, and preached and was like leverage. He talked about leverage, how you don't have something, you can leverage on people around you to have. And he said, the Spirit of God just told him, this 10 million naira you're looking for, instead of looking for 10 million, why not look for 10 people to give you 10 million naira? The guy went home, wrote the names of all his friends, both the ones he has helped in the past and the ones that have a tight relationship with him. All of them. Started calling all of them one by one. Was asking each of them for 1 million. In the space of one week, the guy had 10 million. Simply by leveraging on the people around him. If you're not conscious about building the people around you, a time will come where the multiplier effect that you would have had leveraging on their own growing influence, you no longer have it. I promise you. Invest in the people around you. That's the next generation of your wealth. Once money comes, start investing in people. That's part of planning. Part of your financial plan should be investing in the people around you, in your company, your friendships. Invest in them. You see your friend is starting a business. Don't go there and start, hey, oh yeah, now I be your guy. Give me free. You are foolish. You are very foolish. You don't have sense. See your friend is starting a business, and first thing is you want them to do it for you cheap. Now my person now. And siblings do that a lot. You see your brother starts a business, and you're like, now my brother own, so you go do it for me free. You don't have sense, oh. You don't have sense. You sincerely don't have sense. I'm telling you. When you see people, your friends doing something, you support them. Any of my friends that maybe starts, a business or something, most of the time, find this, even if it's the smallest one, I'll just buy. If you shoe you're selling, okay, give me one. Pay full price. Full stuff, you buy one, give me one. I have a habit of, most times maybe somebody tells me, one of my if not even one, many say they have book, give me one, I buy, even if whether I will read it or not, but at least I've invested in your business. Because at the end of the day, if tomorrow you need to leverage on their network, if you need to leverage on their position, you have something that you can lay hold on. But if every single time you are always, trying to put them down, you're always trying to be the best, there's a limit to how much you can grow living life that way. So invest in people. That's part of your financial plan. Don't plan for wealth without planning for them. Everything I'm doing here is an investment. I hope you guys know. If tomorrow any of you uses what I'm saying and turns your life around with it, will you ever forget me? If tomorrow, of course, tomorrow I can never be poor anyway. But if tomorrow you're in a position where you can connect me to the president, will you say no to me? Unless you're a wicked person. Unless you're a wicked person. But we're not a wicked person. If we meet tomorrow, I'm in a better position for you to help me than any other person that needs that help. You get what I'm saying? So everything I'm doing here is also because I would have been doing any other thing with my time. And believe me, this is the busiest I've ever been this year. I don't know that you guys can see my eye. My eye is red because I've not had a straight 6 hours full sleep. Because this period has been doing a lot, 100 things at the same time. So I'm even feeling sleep as I'm talking to you. But this, for me, this is an investment. The data I'm burning is an investment. The time, the energy is an investment into you. You're not paying me anything for it. You're not paying me nothing. But for me, it's an investment. So as much, and I've seen people, see, invest in people. That's all I can say. Invest in people. When you invest in the people that around you, you stand the chance to make more money. I'm telling you the truth. Make more money. So don't wrap yourself around yourself. Hope you guys got value this night. It's already 8:30. We've spent more than we planned. But this is the end of the okay, no, this is not the end of School of Finance. We have one more school. There's usually 3 classes. There is school. This is School of Finance. For those of you that are just joining, this is the School of Finance. We discuss money. We have different schools under the Wisdom Bank mentorship. We just concluded the School of is it School of Career now? Which one did you even conclude? Is this School of Purpose now? I can't even remember again. But there was a school we completed before we start. School of Wisdom, sorry. Yeah, School of Wisdom. So we concluded the School of Wisdom, and we're currently doing the School of Finance. So we have one more class under the School of Finance, then we'll move into another school. So I don't know yet. Probably these things come by inspiration. So next one might be School of Relationship and Marriage. It might be, career. It might also be, I don't know, maybe friendship or something. But however, once I'm inspired to, I will know what the next thing is. The next school. So we're taking it turn by turn. Okay, so we're still in the School of Finance. We have one more school under the School of Finance, and then we can round up and move into the next school. Okay, so if you're not on the WhatsApp group, please chat this number on WhatsApp. The response will most likely be late, but you will receive response regardless. Chat this number on WhatsApp. Okay, just chat, type Wisdom, and we'll add you to the WhatsApp group, so that on that group you're getting all the updates you need as regards the schools and how we are going to be progressing. Because at the end of the day, the idea is that at the end of, in 5 years time, when we see ourselves, the only place we can be seeing ourselves is private jet lounges. You understand? Meet ourselves in Dubai, where we are going for career talks. We meet ourselves in America. That's the plan. Understand? So please make sure you are taking off. Make sure you're applying the things I'm teaching you, and please make something out of it in your life. I promise you, it's life-changing. All right? So that's the only payment I want from you guys. Please apply. Like I spoke today about partnering when it comes to giving. Please do that. It will change your life in no small way. I promise you. It will change your life. I'm not here to ask any of you for money. I'm very, very wealthy by God's grace. I'm doing very well. So the payment you can give to me is to please apply the things I'm teaching you, and also become the best version of yourself. All right. Thank you guys. Thank you guys for having me and for listening to me tonight. Okay, somebody's asking. Please ask questions. I think let's end these questions. We are done tonight. So let me just take a few. I want advice from you. I've been always confused in everything I do. I've tried to start a business, but when I do research on that niche, I found that others have done it. Please advise me. There is nothing new under the sun. There is no idea now in this world that you even think of that is actually new. There's this thing they say that new is old happening to new people. So anytime you hear that, this is a new idea, no, it's not new. It's just that it is an old idea, but it's happening to a new set of people. I remember when we were in school. The trousers that were fashionable at that time were Fela trousers. I don't know whether people know, that trouser that if you wear it, it will cover your shoe. So the people will not see your leg. That was fashion as far as we were concerned. There came a point where it became leggings. Like it had to be tight, skin to skin. It became fashionable. But recently, guess what was raining again? Baggy trousers. Everybody is now baggy trousers, matching baggy. It started raining again. Some people, maybe Gen Alpha now that are coming, will be like, if you wear pencil now, they'll be like, you're old school, that what is raining now is baggy. But the truth is that we wore baggy. You get what I mean? So if there's no business idea that you think of now that somebody has not started before, every time you think of a business idea and you want to implement, no matter the number of people you see already doing the business, your own customers are your own customers. Simple. It doesn't matter how many they are. And sometimes it takes just a little tweaking of the idea, just small change in the idea. Your own will move faster than their own. Somebody is selling food with chicken, maybe just chicken and maybe meat pie. Then your own, you decide to add water to it for free. Something as little as that water you've added has given you an advantage in the market. So sometimes it's not just about the idea, it's the specialty of the idea. Who is doing it? And how is the person doing it? So don't think of it just because you see everybody's, maybe let's say real estate. Say everybody's into real estate. Let me leave real estate. Even if you go to table tennis, you find out that even in table tennis, the market is still saturated. There's no market that is not saturated. It's because you are outside, you feel like people are not doing it much. But by the time you enter the business, you find out that there are thousands of people inside the business. So if you are just waiting for a business that nobody has done before, you'll not do any business. Have you guys read Otedola's book, Making It Big, where he talked about how he started selling diesel? It was because he saw somebody doing the diesel business and doing it badly. He said they came to deliver diesel in his house, and the truck was dirty. When they were coming in, they were messing up the whole floor. Everywhere was just terrible, black everywhere. And he was like, I can do this business better than this person. And that's how he started diesel business. Simple. So a business that somebody else was doing, he just came in and did it better. So don't wait for somebody, don't wait for an idea that somebody has not started. Start your own. Start your own and give it that your own special flavor. It can be just small something you add inside. That becomes it sales. You get what I'm saying? So don't there's no, for instance, now there's no kind of song that people have not sung in Nigeria. But guess what? Artists are still popping up every 2 seconds. Say new artist did this one, new artist did this one. What are they singing? The same thing, the same rubbish. Some of them make sense though, but the same thing they are singing. But they will still sing it. Some people will still like it. So your clients are your clients. They can only be your clients. They can't be any other person's client. So when you come up with your own special sauce, people that will follow you will follow you. So go out there, do what needs to be done. All right. Emmanuel Trades, I hope this answers your question. So any other question before we call it good night? Any other question before we call it good night? Please, I usually forget to ask you that. Please like this video. Please, Ejo, please like this video and subscribe. If you're not subscribed to this channel, please subscribe. I don't know why I always forget. Thank God I remember now. Subscribe to this channel. Subscribe to this channel. Click the follow button, subscribe button, and drop a comment, whatever. All right. At least let's get to 1,000 subscribers before December. That would be very nice. I appreciate that. All right. So that's it. Thank you, guys. I'm not seeing any other questions. So I would assume that all the questions have been exhausted and we can call it a night. So thank you guys for joining me tonight. It's been a privilege talking to you guys. I wouldn't have loved to spend this night any other way than talking to you guys. So see you guys on the next School of Finance. Thank you. So have a wonderful night rest. Good night, everyone. Bye for now.